Finally, Wunmi has eventually falling, whichever, into that she has been trying to escape from. All the talk show, I won't call that interview, that she had, all of it is now a waste. All of the talk trying to defend herself, making it sound like, well, as it is, it was the nurse, it was this, it was that. Every of it, she will have to account for it. She cannot deny. This is not my voice was act. This is not AI. No, it is actually herself saying some of these things without knowing that private investigators and of course intelligent people, they were collating some of her utterances, which even if it was not said in any legal or in a courtroom, every of these things she will have to answer for it. I want you to get ready because it's been a long time, it's been a while that Cynthia trended. What has been on social media is the betrayal, greed, love of money that we all saw displayed by Mohbad's father. Mohbad's mom, no, she's out of the equation. She's not even anything to talk about because we all know where she stands. She is as greedy as greed can ever be. But Mohbad's father, that so many people, a lot and a lot of people really hoped for. They thought, in fact, even Mohbad's brother is not escaping this one. A lot of people have asked questions. How come it's only Cynthia? What about Mohbad's brother? Was he not in that house? Well, like I said in my previous, I said, what if Mohbad's brother, out of envy, did something to his brother? But we'll go to this part of the nurse that Cynthia kept repeating. The nurse, the nurse, the nurse. You're about to discover, you're about to hear for yourself. Like she finally shot herself, fell into that ditch that she has been escaping, trying to, wriggle herself out of. Finally, she fell into it. I don't know what will become of her. I don't know where she might want to run to. If she's going to escape or whatever, or on the run. But as it is right now, all doors are closed and locked. Please like and share, tap on the subscribe button. Let us get right into it. It is getting heated up.
Saying that is because our son said that outcome is detained. Maybe Akiosu Adenike, you are up. Okay, thank you, ma. He said that it's detailed. And let's look at that detail that our lawyer want to use. Some people may say, no, I've been saying it, there is no how they go. There is no how they go about this matter. That Wunmi is not late. There's no how. Even with that, apart from the recommendation, though, the detail that they are referring to in that corona, that the judge wrote there, we still find Wunmi guilty in that. Because Kabiru is saying that he's not anywhere, that he was absorbed, he has no whatever. In that judgment, in that verdict, the detail, they call Wunmi next of kin. Is that not so? All of us, they say that next of kin. The Momo Kabiru is still also saying that they are married. Okay. Married, next of kin. Let's now look at what happened the day that Mohbad died. Did Wunmi, as a next of kin and as married, not enter into agent-principal relationship? Did Wunmi not enter into it? First, let them produce Mohbad phone to show the whole world that is Mohbad that has the capacity, as at that time, to call his personal nurse that was not available. Let us see Mohbad call the nurse and the nurse reply Mohbad. If it is not Mohbad that called the nurse on his own phone, it means that it means that Wunmi has entered into agent-principal relations, because for you to nail a wife for negligence, it has to be gross negligence for the husband. It has to be gross, and because it's vicarious liability, and it has to be a gross negligence, and there must be an agent-principal relationship. It means that the wife must be acting on behalf of the husband, and that is why we have to look at whether she disregarded safety, or she did not also regard the husband's life, whether the husband's life matter or did not matter. That's what we want to examine. Who now call the nurse that arrived from Cotonou? Let them bring the phone and let us see it, whether it's not Wunmi that made that call. That is agent-principal relationship. Wunmi don't begin act as Mohbad agent too. We will now want to examine the duty of care. Okay, if Wunmi did not assume that role, no be Wunmi letter, no be Wunmi lawyer write a request for even corona to be done. On what ground did Wunmi request? If Wunmi did not believe that she can act on behalf of the husband to get justice, it was made that day to the nurse who made that call. On whose phone? It is Wunmi's phone that was used. Or Wunmi was aware, Wunmi was acting, Wunmi was present. If not lie, may they let us know now. If Wunmi is not the one, if Mohbad was the one who made the call, if Mohbad was not the one who made the call, Adura that was there, that they said they tried with Adura phone. And because Adura is also a family member, though Adura did not assume the role of next of kin, Damola was there. Damola did not assume that role, but Wunmi assumed that role in the house. Even in court, assumed to be, agree, has not contested being next of kin to Mohbad. So, who now, when they made the call and they were expecting the nurse, who waited for over 24 hours, waiting for nurse to arrive from Cotonou? Is the wife not there? When they say when the nurse arrived, Mohbad was ill and healthy. The nurse said that she met Mohbad weak. If Mohbad was ill and healthy, why is it Wunmi that is saying, why did you give my husband this injection? He reacted to this injection. Why is that not coming from the mouth of Mohbad himself? Mohbad that was okay, that was ready to go for interview, but never pick his mother's call, never pick anybody's call. Adura said nobody can say, see my brother. The manager did not have access to Mohbad, and so that's somebody who was going for a podcast. It means somebody has assumed the role of the next of kin. That role that she assumed that day, that agent-principal relationship, is what we tie to the negligence, the gross negligence, because of this. Because of this absolute disregard for life and safety of Mohbad. So why is Wunmi now trying to separate herself from that? Ẹ fẹ́ jẹ ogún, dẹ̀ fẹ́ pa, fẹ́ sọ̀tàn gidi. Ìwọ ló fẹ́ jẹ ogún. When it comes to property, because this Mumu Kabiru is talking about property, Baba want to inherit now. You want to inherit now the property, but you don't want to assume the next of kin, the role of the next of kin, when Mohbad was incapacitated. Because Mohbad was not herself. And to be called till they return there. There was a missed call. The mother said he couldn't reach Mohbad. Couldn't reach. There was a call that Wunmi received. And there was no return call to the woman. The manager tried to reach out. The person who wanted to grant interview tried to reach out. Nobody could access Mohbad. So nobody can tell us that it was ill and healthy. There is no demonstration of Mohbad being ill and healthy. When he got to the house, was he up? He was lying down. Even the water that you people claim was in the room, he couldn't mop his own room by himself. It was Adura who had to go up, or Damola to go and mop the room. And you told us that Mohbad was ill and healthy. ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ náà ló ń lé nìyí now. So why do you think that we are mumu? Forget about that recommendation that they are trying to play safe. I've been saying it, whatever happened in that court that they said in that court, Wunmi cannot get out of it. There is no evidence that Mohbad, no evidence. No evidence of Mohbad being alienated. But some people don't want to believe. They probably think because they are worried, unless if that's why I believe that our son should have even contested the recommendation. That based on this said by XYZ, there's no how you can leave these people out of the negligence we are talking about. So they can pursue that case from that angle. And the fiat that we are talking about, let's relate it to this case. Let's relate it to this case. Queen Alaja said,
Mr. Ishak, please, can you please tell me the meaning of fiat?
Fiat means that it's a private lawyer can prosecute a case that with the authority of the government. Fiat means that Baba's lawyer can be the prosecutor of this case instead of the government lawyer. You know that Queen Alaja has told us that the prosecutor will be the DPP, that is government lawyer, that will prosecute the case. And even before now, on Paparano and the rest, they've been saying that they will deny Baba fiat. Let's now see whether Lagos State will prove those people right or wrong. And you know that they told us that DPP went to meet a nurse. They had discussion with the nurse. We will now know whether they actually want to shoot some people. What the driver said at Corona Court, if the tape they are available, we go replay arm for the High Court, even if you know enter traffic at judgment. Some people recall things wey happen. Live and direct. All you need to do is to now exhibit now. You go enter now. Wait. I know go there's some things where no day that Corona where you go enter when the matter starts. We never reach there. It depends. It's just all you just need is to go and certify it. Once you meet the requirement of Evidence Act, forget it. But why are they rushing up and down? I expected Kabiru to say, anywhere you take my client to, we know they shake. Why is it all of a sudden that's for that day? And you are talking about the man quickly went to bury his son. You too press now. Press that as the man rush, go bury his son. Now you buy his son now. Big guess now. So that we can put it there too. That because the man, then when we now get to court, we will ask Kurame that has been avoiding, we will be forced to come and tell us what document did they give them to move the body from Kuramed to the next hospital. See, Kuramed did not give them any document. They just ran out of the hospital. Whether we not go begin nail everybody. Kuramed must have given them a document. If they took law into their hand by just removing the body from that hospital, carry and go another hospital, we go know now. When they reach the other hospital, waiting then tell them. They don't tell them to go and deposit for more. We go know. When they reach police station, what happen? Na 2 police station then go. Kabiru, na 2 police station. It's on record. What happen for the 2 police station? We go know. And Karima don't let us know. Say as Baba come out that day for hospital mortuary. Now then small Mohbad in as they deceive the father, so that the father can be frustrated to just go and bury evidence of that day. Forget the fact that in-house now we feel they tackle ourselves, but we know what we are doing on this case. We are not, that will not make us out of one binula one and binula one. So we expect results and we are not getting it, and we have to voice out. And our voice, they said the court order that he said they brought out. Why is Kabiru not reacting to it, whether it's genuine or not genuine? Is that not in the name of your own client as the applicant? Why is Kabiru not responding to that? That they have ordered some people not to talk about my client. Hope they hear. The order is from Kanimola, and people should obey. Kabiru. Kabiru ó rù torí ó tó rù làákàyè. No conscience. No conscience. Let us now see how they will be able to drive that from corona to the fundamental that they are doing now. The fundamental on is also another angle. Because in that corona, there was a directive for further investigation. If Wunmi is not taking up the challenge in seeking justice for the husband, the partner, the whatever you call it, for Mohbad, if Wunmi is not pressing forward, what is wrong with Baba pressing forward through fundamental to get more investigation done? Kabiru ò tiẹ̀ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ forensic. Kabiru ò tiẹ̀ wà interested in forensic, not CCTV. Kabiru dákẹ́. But tó bá ti dọ̀rọ̀ Mohbad báyìí dókó ẹ̀ máa lé jáde ni. Á lé ní lè jẹ́. Kabiru. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ oru ẹrù ayé níbi eléyìí tó ọkùn mọ́ yìí pẹ̀lú ẹwọ́ tó kí ọmọ èèyàn kú ẹwọ́ tó ṣe ń parọ́ máa lọ́ba torí pé Kabiru ẹwọ́. So let us see how far they can go from both sides. If the lawyer is just doing this, because I even learned that some people who came together and say, why can't we do this? And they say, okay, we're going to process it. I don't know how people are not the one advising a lawyer, his son, to go and process fiat. But it's a good one. But I also have my own reservation. I won't jump out to say, àti wá move on, àti wá read the best thing. Ẹ máa rí tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀, pìtìpìtì ayé máa bá wọn máa yàgbẹ́ sára ní. Irọ́ o, our eyes are on the ball. Our eyes and the ball. If Lagos State said they are not going to process it, ṣé lawyer wo tiẹ̀ lọ grant interview? Báwo ni Fálànà ṣe gba Fẹ̀yàtì Fàdégòkè? Tí lawyer ti ara náà wà tó gúdù tí ò lè gbà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Èkó of international standard. Ṣé Ìbàdàn wá ti Àbọ̀ṣun ti ju Èkó lọ ni? Ṣó mi pé wọ́n consider life and property. Wọ́n rí life as ṣé dignity of a human life ṣé wọ́n consider lọ́sùn ni náà fi Fádélé ní Fálànà náà fi ní ọmọ gbẹ́ta di Timothy lọ. Àwa wò bóyá Sanwó-Olú ó tiẹ̀ sanwó ẹ̀mí, bóyá Sanwó-Olú ó tiẹ̀ pé life matter lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ wo, that is how things should go. That is how things should go. Our lawyer should be proactive. Kò tí tó 12 hours tí nǹkan bàbá Mohbad ló báwo ni lọ́ọ̀yà wa tiẹ̀ kì í ṣe lọ́ọ̀yà ló gbé nǹkan síta o, bàbá Mohbad ni o, tẹ́ fi máa mọ̀ pé Kabiru ó ń ranjú káàkiri ni, wọ́n ń fò kiri ni. Immediately ni Kabiru ti bọ́ta tó ń react. Kí ló dé tí lọ́ọ̀yà ti wá máa ń sùn lójú ogun? So for people who think they love Aloba, and you are saying that some people who are reacting are overreacting, maybe you can advise them, maybe, but I will not blame anybody for their reaction. Ẹ mọ̀ pé jọ́ yẹn tán lọ́ba lọ sọ̀rọ̀ sí mi, ó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ fi wo test tèmi náà báwo mo ṣe react sí, mi ò consider as anything. Ṣé tọ́ba arọ́ bá ṣépè fún mi, ṣé mo ṣiṣẹ́ pè ní, ṣépè máa bá mi ní. Ó tún bá mi argue lórí platform gan, I still struggle to explain because this is the time to explain things. Ndí mo sọ fọ́ bá arọ́ ń jọ yẹn, mo tún explain yẹn. Mo ní understanding is the fountain of life to those who have it. Ẹ wo background of every issue. Bí mi àti èèyàn kan bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, tó bá yẹ pé vengeance la kan town díẹ̀ síra wá ń bí sìn, àwọn kan máa lọ nú inbox ni Mr. Daddy Prince sọ̀rọ̀ lórí platform kan jọ́ kájọ wà ń bẹ̀. Àwọn kan dẹ̀ ti wá bá mi. Daddy Prince, you are also an elderly man now. Daddy Prince should have, he shouldn't have addressed you that way. Mo ní àwọn ọ̀tá rèé. Àwọn ọ̀tárì tí n bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ Daddy Prince ò gbọ́dọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́. Daddy Prince ò gbọ́dọ̀ disagree pẹ̀lú mi. Any of you can come up here now and tackle me. Feel free to do so. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣépè fún mi tí n bá ṣùgbọ́n tí n bá bú mi tí n bá choose to react tó bá lo insecticide tèmi dẹ̀ lórí poison fún ọ ṣé mọ̀ pé ẹ mọ̀ wòran ni ẹ má dá sí wa o. Níjọ́ tán ní Kúdí wá fún mi mo choose láti reply. Àwọn kan rò pé wéyà kìíní mo náà fún jẹ́ padà kò sí nǹkan jù bẹ́yẹn náà lọ. Kò jù bẹ́yẹn lọ. Ó ti tán síbẹ̀ nìyẹn. And I can decide not to also react. But nobody should dictate how anybody is going to react. Don't start it because you don't know how it's going to end. It's a general advice. Ìjọ yẹn náà mo sọ fún ti bàbá náà. Bàbá ẹ jáde ẹ ti kọ́ àwọn èèyàn lójú. Sáwọn èèyàn kan gbogbo èèyàn náà la máa wá bẹ̀ ni. Ẹlòmíì ò sùn, ẹlòmíì ò wo, ẹlòmíì mọ tó ti lose. A kàn lè appeal sí wọn ni. Tí bàbá bá fún yàn kan jẹ, wọ́n fún bàbá jẹ padà. Àwọn kan fún bàbá jẹ lánàá. Ṣé bá la rush ta ló ń defend? Nígbà bàbá kọrin báwọn kan ṣé bá sáré rush lọ ni. Ṣáà mọ̀ pé bàbá náà fún wọn jẹ ni. But àwọn náà kọ́kọ́ wá fún bàbá. Kò ń ṣòro kọ́kọ́ wá fún wọn. Láfi lọ defend bàbá. But tí bàbá náà bá jẹ́ starter tó kọ́kọ́ fáwọn kan jẹ, wọ́n á fún bàbá náà jẹ padà o. Bí Mọ̀mí Rich Grace bá ní pé o ò lè wọ Naija, àwọn náà ó gbé sáà tútù jáde o. Kò sí o. You can't dictate it o. Ẹni tó bá wá mọ̀ pé fan mi ni mo like ẹni yìí ìwọ ló wọlé ńgbà yẹn ó wà máa yọjú látojú window ó wà wọlé tó bá tẹ̀ lọ́rọ̀ tó sọ pé next time ẹ̀yin náà mọ̀ jáde kí ni mo underrate àwọn kan lórí kíní yìí. You don't underrate anybody. Kí nǹkan ní because people listen to me mo bá dìde mo bá ránṣẹ́ sí mi ni mo bá ní á jáde ògúlùntù gidi ó máa làmọ́ mi lórí ó máa làmọ́ mi lórí kódà kẹ́ni kọ́ máa kíní later sọ pé sorry for that I withdraw that kíní kan ó ti ṣe tí tó fẹ́ ṣe ná. So caution, don't underrate anybody, and for those who want to build fan base to come and use this thing any small opportunity disagreement between people any small misunderstanding you go and máa fan Mọ̀mí Comfy sọ̀rọ̀ nsìn ó sojú kìíní ó sojú kejì. Some will record just one part and take it out. Some will take it out and go and say so why yẹ kó sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn so yẹ kó sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Gbogbo wa là ń fúnra wa là ń advice ara wa ọmọ ìyá ni wa ẹnìkan òṣèlú káwa ní pé bá a ṣe pọ̀ tó yìí ní disagreement láàrin ara wa ó yẹ ká ẹ ti prepare for this day long time ago. Ibi tẹ́mi wà mo wà o mo ṣe wà yìí Mọ̀mí Comfy ló sọ wípé ẹ má create kinní kan èmi ibi tẹ́mi bá wà èmi ò ní hide. I am 100% Bukky Jesse. Ṣé yẹn torí ìyẹn kí n má lọ sọ́dọ̀ platform ni? Ṣé mi àti Bukky Jesse ní ìdá tí máa sọ̀rọ̀ ni? Ní ìdá tí sọ̀rọ̀. That is where I pitch my tent. It's my right. Ṣé Bukky máa hide ń ta ni? Ṣé yẹn mi pé kí n má lọ sọ́dọ̀ platform kí n má lọ bá other people ni? Haba, it's not brotherhood of darkness now. Ẹ wo ẹ má jẹ́ ká máa nígbà tí mo declare pé I'm for Aloba. Ṣé mo hide ẹ ni? Injustice for Mohbad. I'm for Aloba. Àwọn kan dẹ̀.
The truth is the truth. Unless we will be hearing something different. Unless there is something that is not true that will be told later. But if it is this, ladies and gentlemen, well, I will tell you this for free, that you heard what our guest said. The first story that we heard is that Mohbad was the one that concurred, agreed. In fact, they even said that Mohbad was the one that contacted the nurse and said, let the nurse come. They know that Mohbad is not alive and there might be no investigation into if Mohbad is the one that really called the nurse. The police did a shabby one, very quick. After all, Cynthia's family are members of the Nigerian police force, both the disgraced one and those that are still active. They said, why don't we put everything that happened on Prime Boy, the nurse, and this equation? The story will not make sense if we do not put in spending. Let us join spending in this whole story. That is the only way it will make a whole lot of sense. Let us join spending in it. Let spending be involved. Let spending be part of it. Let spending be the person that will be the fall guy. Let's say he conspired. The conspirator is the one that conspired, that brought the nurse. He's the one that contacted the nurse. He's the one that gave the number of the nurse. He's the one that brought someone that is unqualified. It all sounded good to people who needed justice at that time. Like, okay, but then people looked at it and they're like, wait, hold on a second. Can you tell us about people who witnessed the fight, the said fight between Mohbad and Prime Boy? None could say what they saw. Is that they were far away, or they were on the other side, or they did not see much. When Spenny was even asked about Prime Boy, he said, what happened is that I didn't see very well because it was the other side. Nobody could give an account of what transpired, of what happened, how it happened. But the police had already done their shabby thing. They said they fight, they bled profusely, and they said a whole lot of gibberish. It makes sense to them. We all know how they operate. Many of them are dumb, many of them are intelligent, but they choose not to do right. They don't like to do good. They always like to do bad, meaning they will never function efficiently because they choose not to function appropriately. So, whilst we are pondering on this and calculating, thinking, how do we go about it? How do we go about it? Which way? How? Which way? How do we process this thing? You know the rest of the story. Prime Boy was released. The state prosecution released him, Lagos State, and they took off the case. Unless there is something else that wants to come up later, you have to still show proof and evidence. The DPP, having listened to the account, the statement at the inquest, they said to themselves, Mohbad is the instigator, is the one that attacked, not Prime Boy. Nobody has been able to say Prime Boy hit him, Prime Boy slapped him, Prime Boy pushed him, Prime Boy did nothing. That is how Prime Boy escaped. That's how he escaped. So the ball dropped right in front of Cynthia and the nurse and spending. Spending, of course, he didn't want to say the truth, the whole truth. He was playing around games here and there. When he realized that the axe was going to fall on his neck, he started sweating even when air condition is switched on, the AC is on. He knew that hell was about to break loose. He knew that his life was about to take a turn for the worse. He started talking. But, Cynthia and the nurse. So Cynthia said a lot of things. He said a lot of things publicly. So our guest is asking questions such as, all right, if truly you claim that Mohbad was conscious, in control of his senses, accepted and agreed, but maybe Cynthia's lawyer might want to argue some part of it, like Mohbad, even though he was weak, you cannot force it, because that's what a lot of people started saying, like, do you want her to force Mohbad to go to the hospital? Do you want her to force him to to take medication? It's not possible. Even when someone is sick, they can be still stubborn. Oh, we carried him. He said he was weak. He vomited. So the question that begs for an answer is it that Mohbad was not conscious of himself when injection was about to be administered. Now, this takes me back to the nurse, because she might be lying or might be saying the truth. She was asked, did you see Mohbad, recognize him as this person? She said yes. Was there any conversation, or you just went in there and you started injecting him? Mohbad said, oh, are you the nurse that came to treat me? And she answered yes. Affirmation. And then they proceeded with their cooperation, meaning Mohbad accepted that the nurse treated him, that he was conscious, that Cynthia now said, oh, I went there, I told the nurse, what do you want to give to him? That was the first time, and I said, okay, I just want to tell you that he doesn't accept this because he reacts to it, and that's that. And she left. She was in the kitchen all through, not until she said she heard a noise, and she ran there. Mohbad was vomiting, and he's like, what happened? You say, I don't know how my body is doing me. I don't know one thing. That. And he said he's feeling hot from inside. I don't know how I'm feeling. I'm feeling hot and I'm shivering. I don't even understand what's going on with me. And quickly, he was rushed into their son's room, because they don't have air condition in their room, but their son's room has air condition. They took him there, and they poured water on him. But what was injected into Mohbad? Is it fake medication? Well, the autopsy could not give answers, because the body of Mohbad was kept for long to decay more, according to Brekete. And who were in charge of it? The police. We are back to the same. The police. Mohbad's body was kept for 3 months before. And here we are pushing and pressing. In fact, justice for Mohbad created influx of amateur detectives, profilers, analysts. Until today, we are here. It brought consciousness to a lot of people. What people wouldn't have bothered about or thought about, it brought them back to that they had left. It brought them back. The consciousness returned again. Anyway, what are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think about this? Please do drop your comments. It is getting serious. Very much serious.